eyes feel like they're gonna start bleeding.
You
Are
okay?
you okay?
I've been playing Elden Ring for like
Oh god.
9 hours.
And you made fun of Ben when Halo Infinite came out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your day off. You didn't specifically take a day off to play Elden Ring.
Yeah, no.
No, who would do that?
Who would do that?
I don't know, some dickhead.
Be nicer to yourself.
Never.
You deserve that day off.
What are you drinking out of, Ben? Or eating? What the hell is happening?
Master Chief.
Jesus.
Almighty.
My roommate got it for me.
That's not the problem. It's how specifically easy it is to buy for you. Your house, you would never know that you do a Star Wars podcast that makes you want to hate Star Wars, because your house is a shrine to Star Wars.
No, but you would know it's my house.
When I went on that rant last time, it doesn't count all the other stuff in that house.
There's not much other stuff in the house.
There's way more than I think you realize.
Nah.
Your dining room, which I slept in, has 2 giant posters. One is the build up to the Death Star. Another is I believe it's like a New Hope poster or something. And then on that wall you have a ton of Star Wars games and a ton of Star Wars books.
Okay,
That's just one other
you mean
room.
2 out of like 3 dozen.
Oh, it's way more than 2.
It's not.
Although in your living room, you're right, you have like 17 Star Wars novels in your living room. See, you can't deny that one.
Okay, you do got me cornered there.
It's funny. My apartment, like when you walk into the living room, like when you enter my apartment, we have really nice like artwork and like canvases up and like wedding photos, and it's very mild mannered. You walk into my office and it is like it's like a Comic-Con threw up in here.
In the Star Wars Every Week Forever office, it's just a spare room, so usually you can just see a bunch of shit piled behind me, but because we're watching the movie and I put my TV in the corner, it's just a bunch of bad movies that our family bought for $50 from a neighbor once, and they're all bad. They're all bad. It was just a bad collection. Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, A New Hope. Now, this is usually the part where I ask how everybody's watches went, but as you already know, we're doing live commentary on it. So load up your whatever you're watching it on. We're at 0.00 right now, and then I'll count us down and we'll watch this movie together. 5, 4, 3, 2, go on 1. 1.
Dum, 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 dum.
Are you getting sick of this bit yet, audience?
Every movie.
Every movie. 6 out of the 9 movies.
If there's one thing we here at Star Wars Every Week Forever know how to do, it's run a bit into the fucking ground and then keep digging.
We got a message from friend of the show Zins this week that said, this other podcast I was listening to did the Barack Obama thing. And I'm like, that's our bit. How dare you? And they were like, it's from 2017. I'm like, how dare you still? In the heart, that's still ours.
Oh no, hold on, I forgot something very important. I'm just gonna.
Hello, goodbye.
It's the opening crawl. Oh no.
It's fine. Go ahead, Chris. Now this is more of a Star Wars intro.
Now this is Pod Race.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! I swear to God, I'm not in the room with you, but I will find a way. I will see you this weekend and I will hurt you.
You heard it here first, audience. 6 weeks ago, I was threatened.
Oh, God. See, like, that's what I love about this intro. We talk a lot about the Revenge of the Sith intro. This one's just as good in terms of, like, just getting into it and setting a tone and then telling us what's going on.
Well, like, this one, I mean, obviously, it's like they kind of needed the little bit of exposition.
Right.
But, like, it's a good background story to set up the plot. It's not like, oh, some freaking insect people are blockading a planet.
Is that what the Cato-Nemoidians are?
Yeah, they're insects.
I didn't realize
they?
I
that.
believe so. I might be wrong on that, but...
That makes the Duros insects as well.
Oh, are they related?
Because, like, the old canon, the Duros and the Cato-Nemoidians came from the same planet, but, like, many, many years ago, the Cato-Nemoidians, like, settled in a different area because there was, like, a civil war or something. If my memory does not fail me. It's such a good opening.
It comes in hard, and that's exactly what it needs.
Yeah.
Could have used more hold gags.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
6 more whole gags.
Yeah, what this scene's really missing is someone making like a sick phone hold gag. It's crazy no one thought of doing that.
We're pretty early on, but do you mind if I read y'all a quote I found this week?
Do it.
Please?
Because otherwise I'm going to forget. This is Ian McDermott talking about if he has any interest coming back to doing Star Wars. Ian McDermott had an interesting answer when asked if we've seen the last of his notorious character. I think I have to accept that, thanks to my ungrateful granddaughter, Rey Skywalker, my annihilation was finally final. But of course, Darth Vader is back in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi television series, so I suppose it's not impossible that one day his mentor might be discovered once again skulking in the shadows. This is the best fucking...
I like the extension of like our bit that we've started where Palpatine just always talks like this has extended to Ian McDermott when he's not Palpatine.
Okay, but the
Ian
man in the
McDermott's just
interview...
always walking around talking like that.
The man in the interview is asked if he wants to come back and do Star Wars, and the first thing he drops in the first sentence is, my ungrateful granddaughter. He might as well have been doing the Palpatine. Within the first 10 words, he's like, my ungrateful granddaughter. I love you so much, Ian McDermott.
I'm still just like this. I can't. I gotta hold off the rant I have for episode 9, because...
Yes. We have to be very careful in these episodes, because we have so much to talk about on screen, like...
I always love this shot, because, like, R2-D2 and C-3PO walk across a hall into a doorway. Then the doorway just explodes. And it's never, like... Like, they just walk into an exploding room, and then the movie just continues.
I gotta say, I love so much. It's like, oh, it's such a small part of this movie, but like, when Vader walks in and puts his hands on his hips and looks around,
Looks down at the dead bodies, he's like, alright, let's go.
because like, it makes, and again, another hilarious like recasting. It only ever makes me think of like one of Kevin Hart's really old stand-up bits where he's just going like, look at this. Do you look at this? Like, it's just Vader looking around. Look at this.
Kevin Hart as
seeing the
Anakin
shits.
Skywalker would have made a lot of things a lot better.
Oh my god.
I mean, granted, it's Kevin Hart, but...
I don't know, after watching their Olympic coverage and like the 2021 recap special they did, I would love to just redo these movies with Snoop Dogg as the Emperor and Kevin Hart as Vader. Very good.
God.
This is another example of we've watched Star Wars every week forever, so we will take anything new possible that makes us laugh. This is my favorite bad part of this intro, where like everybody's just like totally incompetent trying to capture her, and she's like not even trying to get away, really. I get she's buying time, but still.
Oh, there's like the one time we see Stun.
Yeah. Isn't it used somewhere else now?
They used it a decent amount in the Clone Wars. And by
Yeah.
decent
Well, I
amount, I mean
mean-
like 4 times.
There's another mainline movie where they use it now, though, and I can't remember which.
Is there?
Yeah, 1000%. It's got to be Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. It's one or the other.
Now I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
I love the. I know I've brought this up multiple times. Hold your fire. There's no
Hold
life
your
forms.
fire.
Why would you not just blow it up anyway? You're the Empire. You just blew up a fuck. You're like, you're gonna blow up a planet in a little while. You can't just blow up this escape pod. You'd think you'd want to cover all your bases.
It's energy weapons. It's not like it's gonna like cost
We're-
a ton of money
We're
or
real low on Tabana gas right now, so we can't really afford to.
nerd.
I
Nerd.
mean, you live in a universe where droids are very prevalent. You don't even think for half a second, well, there's no life forms. Maybe there's droids on it, and we should take
Like,
it out anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I also feel we've talked about how droids aren't even like acknowledged as beings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Leia, you're not the Senate. We all know who the Senate is.
I threw the entire Senate at them. Can you imagine? Because, like, the Senate was around for a while after. Yeah, like, the Senate only gets disbanded in this movie. So, can you imagine the first few weeks after the Senate was thrown all around like that, where all these senators are just meeting in a cafeteria with Palpatine, like, after he's declared it an empire and they really don't have any power anymore? It's like, all right. We take our lunch break in the same place where we make decisions. And by we, I mean I.
How long do you think it took to put the Senate chambers back together after Palpatine threw all of the little floating platforms at Yoda?
Probably not as long as we would think.
I choose to believe all the senators just became Palpatine's interns. That would be the kind of power trip he would want.
We're getting too close to the show that we pitched once and never reflected on again, but that's called The Office, but the senators. Bill, I need a coffee.
Yo, I would watch that show. It's just like it's The Office, and the Emperor is basically Michael Scott.
Oh my god.
Why did Palpatine and Ben's accents say coffee like a fucking New Yorker?
Listen,
Is he British New York?
all right,
Yo,
Palpatine needs a
Bill.
cup of his coffee. All right,
I need my
he
coffee.
needs his coffee.
Fucking C-3PO abusing R2 here.
He like literally kicks him. Fuck
To
you.
be fair, R2D2 gives C3PO attitude constantly.
He's
R2
just constantly cursing like a sailor.
R2D2
Yeah,
is
they had
just...
to bleep him out.
R2D2 has treated C-3PO like shit for the last 20 years because he didn't save him from following Anakin to Mustafar. Like, I told you, get me out of here, 3PO, and I know you don't remember it, but you fucked me over.
You have no idea the things I've seen. They cannot be unseen.
Nobody cleared my memory, C-3PO. I've seen it all.
Yeah, so are there like levels of not giving a shit about droids? Because like everyone was like, oh, we gotta wipe C3PO's memory, but yeah, fuck the R2 unit.
Well, I mean,
I think it's
that was because
3PO can
R2D2 wasn't
talk
going to
more
say
freely.
yeah.
But like,
Like
it's not
nobody understands R2.
I don't think droid speak is that uncommon to understand.
I think it might be more uncommon than we're giving it credit for.
I mean, every X-Wing has a terminal that translates it. Like,
Yeah, but not everyone has an X-Wing.
Also,
the
X-Wings didn't exist yet.
X-Wings weren't exactly top of the line military equipment. I mean, homeboy farmhand Luke
Did
rolls
you
up
just
and
use the
learns-
word homeboy?
Yeah, homeboy farmhand
Ben,
Luke
you
rolls
are
up.
entirely
and
too white to fucking say the word homeboy.
Homeboy.
He just rolls up and like within 5 minutes he's like, yeah, I could fly one of these motherfuckers. Like, it's not like they were complex machines.
Yeah, but when it comes to pilots in the Star Wars universe, apparently nothing is too, like, complicated for them to pilot. How often do
Yeah.
people just find a brand new ship they've never fucking seen and go, oh, I can fly this immediately?
Everybody
Yeah.
gets a
Do you
learner's
get
permit at
the-
16 to fly an X-Wing.
Spoilers, I guess, minor for the Book of Boba Fett, though I think we've talked about it already on the podcast by this point. Din Djarin receives an old Naboo starfighter, and within 5 minutes he's like, oh, I can fly this, no problem, I got it down. He doesn't exactly strike me as the greatest pilot in the galaxy. He's definitely not the worst, but
He was doing the galactic equivalent of pulling the e-brake for a little kid that was excited. I don't think he's necessarily a good pilot.
I mean, to be fair, he put the thing together.
Can we talk about the scene for a second?
Oh yeah.
So R2-D2 gets shot with this like static energy, right?
Yeah.
And the static energy doesn't just short him out, but it shorts him out in a very specific way so that his front wheel is brought up into him so that he can fall down rather than like just falling over.
I mean, maybe it's like some kind of fail-safe kind of mechanism.
It's an electric burst.
Yeah, but like when things are short-circuiting, there's still like mechanisms that can be tripped to set things to a safe position.
A safe position is staying on 3 wheels so it doesn't tip over, not taking away one of the balancing beams of the droid so that they fall over more easily.
Yeah, but he's easier to move when he's not like...
Okay, but you're shorting him out, so why is it that making him easier to move is the priority?
So he's not stuck just sitting in like the middle of a hallway or something? I don't know. The answer
here
is George Lucas.
The answer is they needed an excuse for R2-D2 to fall over to continue the scene. What's the name of that droid? No, I don't need Wikipedia. I'm not asking for Wikipedia because it's from like an 80s movie. What's the name of that 80s movie where they follow around a droid that falls in love with a lady?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
what kind of a movie is this, Jay?
It's
I believe that's called Her, and it's from like
no, not that
the
movie.
2010s.
I don't want to ever talk about that.
I don't know.
movie.
Your description was, I don't know, Jay. Did this movie only air after about midnight on HBO back in the 90s?
No. God, I can't fucking Google it, y'all. It's like WALL-E before WALL-E was a thing. It was like, I swear it had like a designator exactly like that.
Sounds like you're describing B-movie, but with a robot.
It's like, it had the same eyes, which were like the 2 separate cameras
So, like,
that one on
binocular-looking ones?
the binocular looking ones. We didn't pay enough attention to the guy Rick McCallum grandfathered into the movie to fuck with his high school bullies.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't.
We talked about that?
Yeah, I brought it up when I was doing the special features. My setup.
Gonk droid running for its life. Fucking out of there.
This scene is kind of horrific. And it's just not even thought about because it's droids. These Jawas just kidnapped these droids and now they're selling them to people.
Short Circuit.
Never heard of this movie.
Like a semi-successful movie. Although it looks entirely different than when I remember it, so it's a no point. It's a weird movie, yo. This
1986.
I told you it was an 80s movie. These droids, granted, this was made on a budget of like $2. But these droids are very bad.
There's something.
There's something. The standards have gone up so much that they're hard to look at. There's Gonk. Hello, Gonk.
Fucking love Gonk droids.
This scene is also horrific.
Mm-hmm.
It's deeply uncomfortable.
The freaking Jawa's walking around like it's a used car salesman pointing at all these sentient robots.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, these droids have been kidnapped, and like without in different contexts, it's essentially human trafficking, but with droids.
It's a million% human trafficking.
C-3PO could
and of course the race.
Like, C-3PO could 100% be like, "Sir, I know this is normal for you, but like, I just got here and immediately got kidnapped and sold. Do you not realize?"
And of course, these are the assholes that would be making backlot deals to buy droid slaves. Nothing has changed at the Lars homestead in 20 years. They're still the same assholes.
They just don't say it overtly. They keep that shit behind closed doors now.
Hey, here comes the Jedi droid.
Yep.
That is also deeply disturbing. Let me shut you down from afar. I mean, it looks like two droids in one, so of course it has a bad motivator. Also, it's a Jedi, apparently.
You leave Skippy alone.
Skippy has two different paint jobs.
C-3PO, you're gonna regret those words in like 20 minutes.
That's fine. Fuck 3PO. He could have saved R2-D2. Although he's still my spirit animal.
It's like C-3PO has the vibe of like when you're a kid and you watch SpongeBob and you're like, I hate Squidward. He's just old and grumpy, and then you grow up and you're like, fuck, I am the Squidward.
I am the Squidward. I am the 3PO. I was the 3PO all along.
Also, like, Luke's sitting there playing with a toy of the speeder that's like literally sitting across from him. Like, excuse me, sir, you are 19.
he's also a 19-year-old playing. It's like the oh god, I'm getting to wrestling again, but it's like the Kevin Owens story where he was playing with toys. He told in an interview he was playing with toys, so he had to do the Stone Cold intro, and he felt like it needed more oomph with his action figures, so he threw a coffee mug at a wall, but it went through the wall and didn't make any sound. And then he admitted right after telling the story that he was 18 at the time.
Listen, who amongst us haven't been there?
It's also like just really sad to go from Revenge of the Sith to this movie to see how bad of condition 3PO is in.
I was just about to say, I love how 3PO is also there, like, Oh, I haven't done anything too exciting. Meanwhile, R2's there, probably like, I have seen some shit, and I need help right now, but nobody knows.
R2 has just like the most extreme PTSD by this point.
I don't blame him.
No wonder he just shuts down in the Force Awakens. He's had 50 years of bullshit happen to him.
I know the last time I saw Skywalker with children. It's not good.
But more specifically, C-3PO, who was bright gold in the last movie, looks like he's barely holding together. He looks worse than he did in Episode 1 here. Or Episode 2. Like, he looks like he's going to have shit fall apart at any given time. He's got one wire coming out of his abdomen that looks like it could be cut at any time just by walking past something funny. Which is another reason why C-3PO is the anchor character of Star Wars Every Week Forever. Because we also feel like that. Fucking 10 rotations in.
Okay, hear me out.
Oh god.
R2D2
Anytime any of
could
us starts
also-
with that.
R2D2 could also be our anchor character.
Is
Because
he
we
though?
too are yelling in pain and nobody is listening.
Okay, you've made your point. But I feel
This whole
like
podcast has just been 10 rotations of cries for help.
I feel like 3PO is even more that though, because 3PO talks and people understand his language and they still don't hear a word he fucking says.
No, I know. But now whenever I talk about Star Wars with people, it's like I'm speaking another language.
You still talk about Star Wars with people?
I have a group chat that like
What
I
is
have
up
Star
with
Wars.
you?
And my god.
I don't know how you do it.
Me neither. And it's like I'm not even like there was a lot of like Pokemon news coming out recently apparently, and like I just realized that Pokemon for some reason is the franchise I'm most fatigued in, and I watch this every week.
Yeah, but you don't even like Pokemon. Ben, you have this habit. It's very much you.
I like
Where if you hear a lot about a thing that you have no interest in, you become sick of it very fast. You hated TikTok when it first came out, and now you do nothing but watch TikToks.
Okay, but that's because I was a Reddit neckbeard when TikTok first came out.
I don't feel like you should admit something like that.
I'm reformed.
I'm reformed. I'm
Ben,
reformed, he
comma,
says.
reform Reddit neckbeard.
Reformed Reddit.
Where the fuck is my fucking notepad?
It's on Ben's like undercard if he's being introduced to something. It's like the lower third. It's
Every
Ben. Reform.
once every 6 months or so, I will put my listen. I'm the editor, so I feel like I need to like make a strong point that this has to be the title card. This is gonna be the one. Ben
Reformed Reddit neckbeard.
Reformed Reddit neckbeard. Where the fuck is my notepad? But by the way, this is also a favorite scene of mine because we know how bad the Lars. Well, I guess we know / we've made it worse how bad the Larses are. So his uncle here goes from being someone that you know is doing the right thing, but also like is way too controlling to just being a fucking prick.
Luke just wants out of his family so bad. It's like, Dad, I just want to move out already. I'm like 19, dude. I'm an adult.
Listen, man, most parents are kicking them out at this point. You won't let me fucking leave. This is still a very good scene. I don't get sick of this scene.
Hey, look, it's a little bad for your eyes. I wouldn't recommend that.
Oh, you're saying that to Luke?
Yeah.
Luke's just got one of those little pairs of like eclipse glasses.
No, apparently he doesn't. That's the problem. Okay, hold on. So what the fuck is that thing he had in his hand? Because it looks mysteriously like the thing that the junk salesmen were using to shut down droids. Was he pressing the off button on R2?
No, because he took the restraining bolt off of him.
Okay, but what was that thing then? Because it looks exactly the same.
It's you see, it's this box with a button on it. When you press it, it just goes and that's what it does. That's it.
I almost prefer you had opened Wikipedia instead of saying that.
Okay, I'm on it.
I said almost better. I said almost. I shouldn't challenge you. I should know better by now. No, it's fine. I don't know what we would do without Ben and Wikipedia.
Sleep a lot better.
I mean, that's just the podcast. That's not you specifically.
I call bullshit on this. I've got like farmers and laborers in my family. You're not waking up earlier than any of them motherfuckers. They're up at 4 o'clock every morning.
Exactly.
I had an uncle at one point. I thought I got it. I was like, I'm a beat him up in the morning. They'll be so impressed. I was up at 4 o'clock. That motherfucker had already fed the chickens by then. He was up at 3:30.
Jesus.
Yeah, they get up fucking early.
In bed by 7 or 8 o'clock and fucking up before the sun, you know?
Tuscans really are done so dirty in these movies.
The first half of this movie is uncomfortably racist, and I feel like we're only just getting to that fact now.
I feel like more so with the back, or the like mid/back half of episode 3.
Episode 3?
Or episode 2, I mean, episode 2.
You're right, but it's something we criticize about Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and we just haven't brought that up much for this movie. Like, it's a lot.
It is.
Maybe because it was less. Hold on. Where is it?
Where's what?
Hold on. Forward, backward, forward, backward, backward, forward.
Oh, yeah.
This is the dumbest scene. And it's all because of edits. Excuse us.
As an old man just walk through the desert flailing while making impossible noises.
Let me add so many rocks to hide R2-D2 that we can't figure out how he got behind them. And then
you know what this scream needs? Reverb. A lot of reverb.
They've changed that screen so many times, and it gets funnier every fucking time.
4 or 5 versions?
Yeah. They're all bad. How did R2 get in there?
You see, he went back there, and then George Lucas just, in real time, as they were filming, CG'd rocks in front of him.
What happened off screen was Obi-Wan walking past R2-D2 and just fucking barricading him back there.
Well, and I love the shot. There's shots from behind where you don't see the rocks that were CGI'd in. They're like fucking video game skybox material where it's like once you go through it and look back, it's just not there.
Okay, speaking of Obi-Wan, we brought up Obi-Wan in the show earlier. Listen, Ewan McGregor still has a beautiful head of hair. They need to fuck up that hair very, very badly so it gets this specific kind of look.
Thinner in there quick.
I need so thin that so holding on it so bad that every time he moves, it's just fucking random tufts are moving in the wind. Which now that I think about it, is just how thin my hair is, except mine is long, but still. I'm dunking on
listen,
myself, but I
I don't
need
wanna,
that
I don't wanna
shot.
talk about thinning hair. No, they need to like season 1 of The Office Steve Carell his ass. Like just like purposefully like thin his hair, like 'cause if you go back and watch that first season of The Office, like Steve Carell like thinned his hair out and wore his like shirt collar tighter to like make his face look puffy and like
It's
excuse
like
me. That's me, Luke.
he really has like he hasn't let
Oh, wow.
himself go, but he's like he really has that like late 50s, early 60s look of like I'm just whatever I am now. I'm not trying something new. I'm not
Yeah.
keeping up with it anymore. This is
Yeah.
just who I am now.
Yeah.
I need to real quick.
I love that
Fucking
he says his own name
Obi-Wan
wrong.
sits here. He's like, I don't seem to remember owning a fucking a droid. Like, motherfucker, is R4 dead to you?
Yes, he is because he. If you say
Would've been,
R4 to him even 10 minutes after he walked away from R4 in the prequels, he'd be like, who? I don't know. Oh, that.
I do really it would have been a great time for like droid revolutionary Obi-Wan to spark, like, he's been out in the desert for years, he's been thinking things over, he's like, oh, maybe droids are people. It would have been great, it's like, well, no, I don't recall ever owning a droid, and really, can any of us ever own droids? They're sentient and deserve our respect.
Oh, we're losing Ben. We're losing Ben. And Ben is gone. Uh-oh. It was bound to happen at some point when we were live recording commentary tracks. Ben, hang up.
I hope those pieces of distorted audio stay. Ben's the one recording.
Oh no.
On Skype.
Oh no. We definitely didn't have to take a break right there because we lost Ben. That was not a thing that happened.
Okay, Anakin definitely didn't will his lightsaber to Luke. I know Obi-Wan's a lying piece of shit, but Anakin in his dying breaths wasn't like, give my son that I don't know is alive my lightsaber.
No, he was screaming, I hate you, and Obi-Wan picked the lightsaber up and left.
Your father wanted you to have this when you were younger, in the back.
Obi-Wan is the best character.
Has anyone made an edit yet? There's got to be an edit where someone took the clip of it being like, your father wanted you to have this, and then cuts to Anakin's like, I hate you! Obi-Wan picking the lightsaber up and walking away.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best fucking character in Star Wars. So he cuts the guy he basically raised in half. Watch him slide down into like the edge of a volcano. Fucking browbeat him for a little bit, said he loves him while he catches on fucking fire, and then right before he left, he decides to pick up his lightsaber, just like, ooh, this is pretty, and then he fucking leaves. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the best. He's such a dickhead. I love Obi-Wan so much.
There's a lot of Qui-Gon in Obi-Wan.
Well, from a certain point of view, you're a fucking dickhead. Oh my god. I love Obi-Wan so much.
Him and Yoda just like are force communicating, like, let's just be assholes.
Yeah, but Yoda is war criminal asshole, and Obi-Wan is just let me die. I don't care about anything but dying asshole. Which, by the way, you can't convince me until Obi-Wan comes out. You can't convince me that Obi-Wan did nothing while on Tatooine but sit there, smoke weed, and talk to Qui-Gon. That's all that happened. Dude is just blitzed 24/7.
I haven't heard anything about them getting Liam Neeson back, but like they've never paid off the whole like Yoda being like, oh yes, I'm gonna teach you how to speak to your master. Like they haven't.
They got Liam to at least do a line in Rise of Skywalker, and not like a line, like a verbal line. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
accidentally paused for like a quarter of a second.
Ben just making wild noises. I thought we were about to lose Ben again.
Luke Skywalker being gaslit by his racist family. They were able to keep that farm going for 3 years with no help but just the two of them. But if Luke leaves, they're in their like late. Don't let their appearance fool you. They have to canonically be in like their mid-40s.
Obi-Wan rolls up, gives them Luke, little tiny baby Luke. And Owen's just like, free labor.
The Larstead bunch. The Larstead bunch.
I want like just a cut of like just a very brief scene where like the stormtroopers roll up to the Lars homestead and Uncle Owen is like, "Oh, hello, gentlemen. No, I'm not. I don't know what you've heard, but Jawas haven't been here. I'm in no possession of a stolen droid from the wrong house."
Why would anyone even purchase a droid? You know, sentient beings and all.
Can you even really purchase or own a droid?
Also, I love how fucking Tarkin just walks up to the board meeting and he's like, "Surprise! The Senate doesn't fucking exist anymore."
Yeah,
In
back to the
this
movie,
time of
currently.
instant communication, y'all had no idea, but now I get to drop the news.
I love the look on Tarkin's face when this guy's like, this is the ultimate power in the universe. Tarkin looks at him like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot."
Marty, what the fuck are you doing right now?
Why does this guy in the back look like Sam Elliott?
I was thinking Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders as well. Grand Moff Sanders.
Fuck, I used to know this guy's name too.
Don't.
I used to know the name of every motherfucker in this room.
And then you watch Star Wars every week forever. That's not a prideful thing. I like how Colonel Sanders over there is the only one smart enough to just not speak in this scene. Just like,
Yeah, he's just sitting there watching. He's just here for the drama.
I joined the Empire for the cause, but now I stay because I like how badly this shit devolves. There are no Jawas in those cloaks.
It's
I mean,
just
there's no
empty
Jawas in
cloaks.
this cloak.
They look like empty cloaks.
God. And a meme was born. Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. Wait, Luke, you'll be emotionally disturbed for like a whole 2 minutes.
No, Luke, this is really gonna fuck up the part of the story where you mourn me.
Just imagining Luke rolls up, they're actually still alive. Uncle Owen's like, "Luke, what's that fucking thing on your belt? Who gave you that? Do you know where that thing's been? Do you know what that thing's done?"
We've been so focused on recording today that we never got a room.
Hey, get a room.
The option's not even there for me, though, so. Now this is an uncomfortable scene with context that George Lucas definitely knew at the time for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'll also never get the yelling out of my head from that fucking scene. There was a version of when they were listening to the fucking audio dramas where I put that in the episode, but I should send a message to the Discord, the private, like, us Discord, and was like, I
The behind the
can't
scenes.
put them through what I just
Yeah.
listened to.
Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable. I
It
actually
was-
almost listened to the audio dramas again the other day.
Why?
Look, I genuinely enjoyed them, all right? They were
Yeah,
really
I did-
good.
But
I
they
get
did the
it.
same thing in the book too. Like I had to relive that so many fucking times, and every time I'm just like, I want to not be here.
I guess I'm thankful that you didn't open it by going, so these fucking books.
Yeah, so in the fucking book, everyone's disappointed in me.
Every Star Wars character must have a mullet at some period of time.
One of these days, I'm gonna learn editing just so I can make a really funny cut of this movie, and anytime Luke says anything about his father or Obi-Wan says anything about his father, it just cuts to, like, prequel
The
scenes.
relevant
I wanna-
Anakin
yes.
scene.
I want to train and learn to be a Jedi like my father, and just cut to the scene of him walking into the fucking room with the
council
younglings
chambers.
and igniting the
Counterpoint.
fucking lightsaber.
Counterpoint. This exact cut of the movie, no changes, except every time Anakin comes up, there's the sounds of him screaming in the background. Just like vaguely over the words, just like, can you tell me about my father? Ah! Obi-Wan Kenobi might be the character that has changed the most for us watching these movies.
Not for me, to be honest. I don't think.
You
We've
still feel
ruined every character in this franchise.
you still feel the exact same way about Obi-Wan Kenobi that you did
Yeah,
before.
pretty much.
How do you feel about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
He's a sassy asshole who turns into a bitter, sassy asshole.
I mean, that's correct. Fucking
The only thing this podcast did to Obi-Wan for me was give him a death wish.
So, okay, hold on. So they go into Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And knowing that an R2 unit is being looked for, they strap him onto the back without even throwing a blanket over him. So that the first thing you see when the vehicle's coming that way, you just see a bright white and blue fucking droid.
Do they know specifically they're looking for that R2 unit, though?
No, but they know it's an R2 unit.
I don't think they do. I think they know they're looking for droids. I think that's about it.
Maybe. I hate this hood so much. What?
It's so pointy.
It's pointy and, like, crooked. It's over here. He's got, like, a crooked shark's fin on his head.
Ah, the wonderful sound of jizz.
Okay. God damn
That
it,
would also be a
Jay.
great title for the podcast.
I'm working
sound
on
I
it.
couldn't put that on YouTube, though.
Why not?
Oh shit! You can see the costume for Bossk in the background there.
You say that as if this is something you've just noticed. The Bith are probably the best designed aliens in these in
I love
this
them.
specific movie. They are the best aliens
them. They have
that they made in A New Hope.
they have little butthole mouths, and
I mean, now you ruined it.
Butthole mouth.
I mean, they do.
Why is the story of us watching these live you ruining things that I point out?
'Cause Mom always told me stick to what I'm good at.
I did not
Jesus
tell you
fucking
that. Oh, another butthole mouth. I just pointed as if you can see what I'm pointing at.
Why are there so many buttholes?
Poor Chewie must be fucking suffering on Tatooine. He must be dying of heat.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm mad that they took out the devil.
They had a shot of him a minute ago. There's my buddy,
Beelzebub?
Trinto Duaba.
There is Trinto
Our
Duaba.
buddy, Trento to
Our buddy. Yeah, how dare
How
you?
dare you?
Our
How
buddy.
dare you?
Our buddy.
There you. Look, there's old butt chin over here.
Honda Baba.
Yeah.
Sure.
George really made this alien and went, you know what? He's gonna be an alien, and for his lower mouth chin area, just a butt. It's just a straight up butt. You know when
I
people
mean-
say guys have like a butt chin? This guy's got a butt chin.
I get what they were trying to go for. It's like a spider thing. But it's still a butt chin.
There's also like, I forget if it's like 3 or 4 like subspecies of Aqualish. Like it's weird.
Obi-Wan like, oh shit, I don't remember there being this much blood in the Clone Wars. I haven't cut off somebody's arm in quite a while, but there's a lot of blood.
Imagine if this is like Obi-Wan's first time seeing actual like blood.
He's got to sharpen his
God.
lightsaber.
Oh,
It's
dude, I'm
dull.
sorry.
I love the bits so much.
I love the bits. They're great.
It's my Star Wars character in me that's saying that, but that's fine.
I love Han's ego. It's like, oh, you never heard of the Millennium Falcon? And they're like, no.
I mean, he's faking it till he makes it.
I know.
He's
just. I love it. I love it.
Han Solo's never made 100% factual comment in his entire life. There's always some lie in there somewhere. I shout out to Ben's roommate. So I stayed with Ben last week. I don't remember the name of the podcast, so shit, that's a problem. But there's a podcast where they in character pretend that they're in hell and they do a podcast in hell. It's like the main character is like Clayton, the brother of Satan, the less popular brother of Satan, and then
I know exactly what you're talking about.
the podcaster is like serving his sentence with them.
It is done by Blaine Gibson and Chris Damaris of Rooster Teeth. I can't remember.
Then maybe.
Oh
Should
God,
I
it's
shout that out
Can't
then?
remember the title of the podcast. Good Day from Hell. Good Day, something like that.
Good Day from Hell, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I shout them out then? Are they involved in?
I have no idea. I know nothing about them.
No. I mean, look, I've been into Rooster Teeth literally since they launched, and
Good morning.
lots
from
of
hell.
things. Lots of things from Rooster Teeth have gone to shit, but those two have always struck me as very nice guys. I like them a lot.
So in the car on the way to get groceries, Ben's roommate played an episode of that with Harrison Ford getting in the plane crash and going to hell for like 15 minutes to do a quick podcast interview, and it might be the greatest Harrison Ford impersonation I've ever heard in my fucking life. Shout out to y'all. I'm about to be way better than y'all because I'm not about to get McClunky. I just got flipped off by Chris.
You're watching the Blu-rays, right?
I'm watching the
Still,
Blu-rays. The McClunky isn't in the Blu-rays.
Oh, well,
still
fuck
truly
you.
one of my favorite memories is telling. I told the story on the podcast, me explaining this to my father
Yeah.
and being on the phone with my father as he pulled it up on Disney Plus. What the fuck's a McClunky?
The fuck's a McClunky? I'm pretty sure we basically
McClunky.
named an episode that.
I'll never forget the first fucking rotation we were going through. I was talking to. Don't you dab at me, young lady.
I didn't have to see McClunky for the first time in a
Don't
long
you
time.
fucking dab at me.
Fucking McClunky.
Fucking McClunky. First rotation, I'm sitting there talking to a friend of mine who's a Star Wars fan, and after I explain all the podcast stuff, he just dead ass sits there and goes, McClunky. And I'm like, you're a son of a bitch, you know that?
Tarkin is so fucking good in this movie.
He is.
I mean,
I
it's
prefer
very.
Tarkin has a lot of good parts in other movies, but in this movie he's real good.
Well, I don't want to give any of those any credit because it's gross what they've done with him.
No, I know. I'm just like the way you said it. You were like, in this movie, I love Tarkin.
Oh, so you're goofing on me.
Like he's like, no, I prefer him in Air Force One or I'm sorry, that's just the first movie on the top of my head. You watch your language. R2 is cursing through this whole movie.
This is my favorite droid in the movie because they don't even pretend like this guy has a full droid suit on the back of his head.
Can I ask you a question, both of you, without
Sure.
Wikipedia?
Oh God,
Do you know what Tarkin's first name is? Then how? What the fuck?
Actually, you
man?
know what? I almost was there. I was very close to it. I don't know why, but Wilhelm Tarkin, yeah.
Wilhuff. It's Wilhuff.
Wilhuff. I would have went Wilhelm.
However Ben said it sounded more correct. Would you say Wilhuff?
This fucking pile of goddamn dog shit.
Whenever I hear, can I ask you a question on this podcast, my hands automatically go to my mouse and keyboard. And I heard.
I know. I had to watch it last week.
I had to actively back my hands away from my keyboard.
The amount of times that, watching him eat last week, watching him, the efficiency of his two monitor system, it was wild. Speaking of,
that Han Solo is just wearing the worst cosplay airsoft tactical vest right now.
This is top 3 worst scenes in the entire Star Wars saga.
Well, it was originally cut, and it should have stayed that way.
That's the problem. It repeats information. Jabba looks like he's a fucking burn victim. Some of the worst effects I've ever seen in my life is when Han Solo tries to step over Jabba.
And they just, digitally fucking move him around.
Fucking
it doesn't even look like Jabba.
Greedo standing right there.
There's also another Greedo standing over there. And another Greedo standing next to the other Greedo.
Boba Fett's there because I guess.
But also, that Jabba doesn't even look like Jabba later on in the trilogy.
Fucking. Well, yeah, because they made that in 98, and they didn't even try.
Yeah, but my point is, they had, reference.
Then you're seriously overestimating what was possible for them to make in CGI before Phantom Menace was made.
No, but I'm just saying, there's straight up different colors.
Point is,
back forest green when it was brown before.
Point is, it's bad and it shouldn't be there. And then they just digitally put Boba Fett in it because I don't know, I guess. Why is this an alien that we only ever see once in Star Wars?
Twice.
Where else?
Mandalorian.
Ben, you can assume whenever I say literally anything, I'm only considering the 9 Star Wars movies.
I know, but Jay, you have to understand, I'm an unwilling encyclopedia of Star Wars information.
A lot of the time on this podcast, it's in Season 2, Episode 6 of the Clone Wars, I don't know what happened in Season 2, Episode 6 of the fucking Clone Wars.
I do actually love the design of that alien species, though.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I can't get over the Xbox 360 headsets that he is hanging from the top of the Falcon.
I also
Listen,
love
Han
that
Solo is a pro gamer in his off time,
Han
right?
Solo is a pro gamer. Han Solo plays fucking listen. Han Solo plays Halo and Modern Warfare 2, and nobody's better than him.
Real quick. I can't see these couple shots of them running out of Tatooine without thinking of the holiday special now.
Yeah.
They literally lift these shots, and that is the footage from the holiday special of Han Solo running.
I missed the holiday special already.
I will campaign very hard against doing a live watch of that because I'm waiting till way later down the line before we do that.
I mean, but that would be perfect. It's the
That
same
wasn't
year
even
we
on
had
my
rotation.
radar.
It wasn't even something I had thought of until just now, Jay.
But here's the thing. I don't want to burn that idea in the third year that we do it. I want to save that.
Yeah, but we can do that again. It's not like
yes, but
this
it's not
is
going
the
to be the
last
same
time we
thing.
can do this.
Nah, I'm with
Yeah,
Jay
but it'll
on
work
this one.
it'll work so perfectly. It's the same year as the 10th rotation where we did it.
I guess. I don't know. Listen, at some point we're gonna hate that Star Wars holiday special, so save it for then.
At some point.
I fucking love Leia. I need to talk about Leia right now, real quick.
Okay, talk about Leia. Talk your shit.
Yeah, I just signed an order to end your fucking life, and she's like, "Oh, you have the balls to do that?" Like, Leia gives no fucks. I wish I was half as badass as Princess Leia.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean Princess Leia?
It's Leia.
This is also like. This is one of the scenes that still stands up to me. This isn't one of those scenes that's like, yeah, I liked this originally, but now I'm just kind of sick of watching Star Wars. So this is still just a good scene.
Yeah. How uncomfortable Tarkin is.
Yeah.
Like, how uncomfortably close he gets in his whole demeanor.
Like, I get why people want to use Tarkin still, because he's such a fascinating character, and the fact that he, like, has Vader subservient to him is so interesting, but it's also pretty gross how they've handled him. Not once, but twice they've just inserted him with CGI into a movie. Like, the excuse is, we got permission from the oh, I forget his name right now, but his family estate. Motherfucker, I don't care. I don't care if it's my firstborn child. They don't get to decide for me that I'm going to be CGI'd into something that I did not give consent for.
Great disturbance in the Force.
Great disturbance in the Force. I feel a great disturbance in the Force, as if I should have been on a very specific planet right now and met my end. Instead, I'm wasting my time with y'all. Of all the things that they haven't gone back in and fixed, lightsaber effects are the things that they haven't even tried with.
Yeah.
But they did it for the Vader Obi-Wan duel.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. They inserted those few frames.
This lightsaber is especially bad because they didn't even try. It's just I don't know if y'all know what they did, but they put like film, like film foil,
like a reflective film foil kind of thing. Yeah.
And then they would
spun it real quick.
No.
No, I thought it span.
No. Span? They would go back in, and I don't know how it worked exactly. What?
Chris's delayed laugh of me trying to think of the word spun.
Spin, spun, span.
They would hit it with a certain light that allowed it that only on camera to appear that way. I don't remember specifically. I would have to watch the special features again, which never in my fucking life. That's like 10 hours every week. That chair looks so uncomfortable.
I also like how in the background of the cockpit you could see just like fucking car chairs. Like legit just car chairs.
I like that Han has an eye machine, like an eye test machine just in the middle of the Millennium Falcon.
I mean, he's a pilot. Sometimes you just gotta make sure he's still sharp and he doesn't have like any weird shit going on, you know?
That it's a little known fact they had to edit out letters in the eye test machine in the special editions as well.
Listen, Han Solo, before he was a smuggler, he was an optometrist. All right, little known fact about Han.
He was a
Just an
mobile
optometrist.
optometry office.
Yeah.
Han, just like a random Imperial customs agent, just like, Han, your vocation is I can't pronounce it.
Optometry?
Optometrist. Han, optometrist.
Did I mention a few million people just died?
I love Vader just with his hands on the back of the chair.
It gives off vibes of like a bring your kid to work day and the kid doesn't know what to do, so he's just standing there with his hands on the chair.
I like the guy that comes in to talk to Tarkin is very clearly so uncomfortable in those boots that he has to take like a squatting stance as he walks.
I love that he's also like the smartest member of the Empire because he is in and out of that room so fast.
He's minimal contact with either Vader or Tarkin.
Man, I know we're not on those movies yet, but can someone explain to me why Chewbacca looks so fucking bright in the sequel trilogy?
But he looks so what?
Bright. Like, his hair is significantly brighter.
I mean, I feel like these are also just like pretty darkly lit movies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But it's a lot of the same environments.
You must have gotten lost.
Luke Skywalker gives off the impression in these movies of that guy that you hang out with that pretends like he's experienced way more in his life than he actually has. So he just talks out of his ass to seem like he has something important to add to the conversation, when every time he speaks, he just sounds like a fucking moron.
Hey, you can tell he's just pulling shit out of his ass.
Oh, you must have gotten separated from like a convoy of TIE fighters. Well, TIE fighters don't move in convoys. You know what I meant.
That's not that small of a target. I used to shoot womp rats with my T-16. It's the same thing.
I love that Obi-Wan makes it very clear to Han when they sit down, like, we would like to avoid any Imperial entanglements, and literally the first thing they do.
They get involved in the biggest possible Imperial entanglement.
It's hilarious. It's real
good. One of the two most defining Imperial entanglements in the history of the Empire. What the fuck are these stormtroopers doing out
here? Hey, they're just chilling. They're out on their smoke break.
Just in the middle of space. In the vacuum of fucking space on their smoke break.
I want to see. There's got to be like stormtroopers who are looking dead at the mouse droid, walk right into some motherfucker like.
All of those stormtroopers are just walking around the same way that you walk around your excited dog trying to follow you, but they won't stop stepping in front of you. It's like, God damn it, you gotta get like behind me or something, because I don't want to accidentally bump into you, but I can't get past you right now.
Oh, so what is that little square elevator the stormtrooper just came up on? Because that looks so unsafe.
I think you said it's a little square elevator, Ben. What do you mean?
What
No,
is
but,
the
like,
point of this hole?
Yeah. Like,
Listen,
okay,
I
we're
played,
gonna have a hangar and just have giant fucking pits in them.
Do you not remember playing through Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy? There's lots of those little like
Oh my
lift
God,
elevators that are
yeah.
just rectangles, and you just, whoop,
Yeah.
and now you're up.
I
You
wanted.
can lure the enemies underneath, and they get crushed by them. It's pretty great.
I was at Ben's last week, and I saw his copy of Jedi Outcast, and I thought for myself, for the briefest of seconds, man, I really want to play that again. It's been like a decade, and then I immediately like looked up, and there was just a line of Old Republic books, and I'm like, nah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. The stripes on the side of Han Solo's pants look like stitches.
It's a little, I don't know, the way Han pets Chewbacca there as his head pops up makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know
It's
why.
very condescending.
It is a little condescending.
It's yeah.
I mean, I like when people pet my head. I mean, don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that.
I'm debating a thing that I
Yeah.
want to say
think Jay
if I
and I
should
both,
say, if it's my right to say the thing.
I think Jay and I both just
Yeah,
almost
we're
rapid fire dunked, and we held it down.
we are too white to bring up this point.
That's
Oh,
fair.
never
That's
mind. I don't
very
know if
fair.
I don't know if we're in the same spot then. I
We're
don't know what you're
not.
talking about. I was just gonna say we shouldn't be kink shaming Ben on the podcast.
Oh no, I make a habit out of that. Although
This is
to be fair,
relative.
same. This
Oh.
door is the funniest fucking
I hate
thing
that fucking
because
door
it's
so
stop
much.
motion.
I
So
also like that Chewie just right hooks the motherfucker as soon as the door
Just-
opens.
I would like to know if that is stop motion or somebody taking a singular shot and speeding up the film. Because it's one or the other, and both are equally hilarious. Because the whole shot like disconnects sort of like from reality while that's happening.
God, it really is apparent from this room, the lighting, how much shit 3PO is just covered in.
Or C-3PO, man.
That's after Luke cleaned them up.
Question.
Answer?
And Ben, do not
Wikipedia.
fucking open Wikipedia for this.
Y'all are killing me.
Where do we think R2-D2's eyes are?
The big black circle.
Okay, but what's the little viewfinder thing?
It's so he
It'll be
can
fine
see,
today.
but up.
Periscope? What are we talking about?
Yeah, the little periscope that comes out of the top of his head.
No. I'm talking about like there's a little like
That's the hologram projector.
Oh, that is the hologram
Yeah.
projector. You're right. I'm wrong. I apologize. I don't know what it is about this watch and those doors.
He's a
I've
great
known
man.
him
He
for a
delivered me
day
to
and a
my
half.
aunt and uncle.
Oh, when he comes back, he is a great man that I've known for maybe a day at this point.
Listen, I met him a day and 48 minutes ago, and I can tell you I can trust him. I would grieve him so badly if he passed.
It's been great. You know, ever since then, the only family I have is dead. He gave me a lethal weapon.
He fired a stun droid at me several times in the hopes that I would dodge it. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball.
He was setting a really weird plan on fire, and then he zoned out real bad.
I wonder if like the tractor beam thing is just because Obi-Wan, when they got on the ship, felt Leia's presence through the Force and was like, "Oh, this is it. This is where I die. Okay, goodbye. See you guys later."
The time has finally come. I've been waiting so long.
Because there's no way he didn't feel Vader. You know, like he felt Vader, he
100%.
felt Leia. You know, he knew what was about to go down.
I don't know, man. In the last movie, Palpatine couldn't tell where in the building Yoda was, but knew from a million light years away that Anakin was hurt. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan and Anakin have a tight connection.
Right. I
Like,
guess.
the second Obi-Wan's on board, Darth Vader's like, there's something going on. I can feel Obi-Wan's presence.
Can we talk about the fact that Leia never met Obi-Wan but named her kid after Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Such a weird thing to do.
We've talked about this, I feel like.
Yeah,
We
but
had to
never like in depth.
Because you and I
Han-
both made the point of, you know, in the books, Ben was one of Luke's kids, you know,
yeah.
like it made far more sense.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, we're about to lose Ben again.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Well, now here's
Uh-oh.
the question. Do we pause again? Or since I'm the one recording and it won't stop the recording if Ben leaves, do we just keep going?
I think we just keep going.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's fine. We'll keep going. Audience, we're here for the Jay and Chris hour. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's just us. It's just us. We will try our best not to go directly into wrestling talk, which we usually try to avoid for Ben's sake, and fail terribly.
I mean, Jay, can you believe Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor?
Don't get me started.
We can't do wrestling talk.
We can't do wrestling talk.
Just watching an army of stormtroopers going down the hallway and Obi-Wan doing bad Metal Gear Solid stealth.
You want to know what would have been good for every Obi-Wan scene in this entire like sequence? Force speed.
Yeah. Would have been pretty great.
Now, granted, the chance of death would be far less. Do you think like the only reason why they could do force speed there was because Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan were there? Is it like a duo thing?
Yeah, they have to like link hands. What you didn't see was the two of them holding hands as they ran.
Oh, God. Are you ready to fail upwards to a ridiculous degree? These fucking hats, man. These security guard hats are incredible. They're like the Naboo hats, but more ridiculous. Somehow, some way, Ben's still in the call.
Against all odds.
And Ben's gone. I had to bring attention to it.
It's alright, when Ben comes back, he might be slightly off from the movie, but, you know, that's fine.
So,
I feel like once per movie, at least one of us is slightly off from the other two.
we somehow only had it happen once so far. I like that there's 1,000 alarms going off in this room, and there was a dead body on the fucking thing that probably pressed 1,000,000 buttons, and Han still thinks he can fake it till he makes it here. And then Luke, like, doing the galactic savior equivalent of when you're going down a crowded hallway to a specific appointment and don't know exactly which room you're supposed to go into, so you're like looking into rooms really uncomfortably and hoping that nobody notices you just fucking meandering around.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I love that Tarkin believes the Force talk and up until the point where it might fuck up his day. At that point, he's just like, no, this is bullshit.
Their religion.
Their religions. I mean, they were a cult. They were always a cult. I mean, they had their own supplement company and everything. What do you think Vader's downtime with Tarkin is like?
I think that's a great idea for an episode of Downtime Darth.
Because like the impression that Vader and Tarkin give off is that Tarkin has made it very clear through acts of power that he is the one in charge of Vader, and Vader is just subservient to him in a way he wasn't even to Palpatine. So what exactly is the relationship between Vader and Tarkin? What was the first meeting between Vader and Tarkin like?
It seems weirdly like they're not as like contentious with each other as like a lot of other people are in the
Right.
Empire and in this movie. So it's like it's interesting because I'm sure the Vader comic went into it a little bit, and I just we just don't know. But I would almost bet that they're pretty friendly with each other. Like I could see them actually spending downtime together.
So the first episode of Downtime Darth is just Vader leaning on Tarkin as if he was his therapist, and then the rest of the episodes are him dealing with the death of Tarkin. So like instead of like that weird scene you get in Robot Chicken where we see it from Palpatine's side, where he's stuck inside that TIE fighter, we have instead a scene where Ben's back. We have instead a scene where Vader is just rolling around in space in a TIE fighter, talking to Palpatine, grieving the loss of his only friend in Tarkin. It's like, he was the only one that cared for me, Palpatine.
Hey, so like I know we've talked about this scene before. Ben especially was very mad about the monster in the trash bin.
Which
Yes.
scene is this scene?
They just got in the trash bin, Ben. We're at an hour and 19 minutes in.
All right, I'm
Hour
gonna
and
hope that's
19,
roughly where we're at.
37.
You should be good, Ben.
10
You're
seconds.
good. I would like to, because the episode that just released this week, I believe, was the one of us talking about this.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
There's a Force Awakens
yeah.
one just released.
Yeah, but for some reason we were talking about this in that episode because that's how this
Because
podcast works.
we went on the whole tangent about the bird.
Yeah, it was the bird.
Yeah.
I would like to posit another idea that makes me giggle very much because I'm from New York. What if it's like, the alligator in the sewers of New York myth, where someone had one of these things as a pet and it got too big and they were like, all right, Jerry, you got to flush it down the toilet.
So it went into the water system that they use for the trash.
Mhm.
And everyone's just telling you the fantasy of like, no, you can't go into trash compactors on ships because the Dianaga poo-poo might be there.
And Ben, as to your point of why is there water in the trash system, they're using like a hardcore industrial press and like strange building materials. The water's
Right.
probably just there to stop the threat of fire from breaking out in here.
Yeah. You make a great point. That's
Or
actually
it
a
could also
really
just be
good
connected.
point.
Or it could also just be connected to the plumbing. Who knows? You know.
Maybe. I mean, it literally could be they're putting the toilet water and the trash in the same place.
God, I really don't want to think that they're standing in sewage and garbage right now.
I
'Cause,
mean,
like, look at all the little pieces of stuff that's on Luke.
I
He's
don't
just
want to
covered
look
in
at all
like
the little pieces of shit
probably.
on Luke right now.
He's probably literally covered in shit right now.
I don't want to think about this right now, Chris.
Luke
we're
just smelled
watching a
like
Star
shit
Wars
for the
movie.
rest
You
of this
don't have
movie.
a choice. Are you telling me that you haven't had 10,000 unpleasant thoughts about these movies already?
Now here's
Not
my
as
question
unpleasant
though.
as drowning in
And we lost him.
I think we just lost Ben again.
We lost Ben
Uh,
to the sewage.
Well, here's my question. Where does that thing go when they do? Oh, Ben's back. Oh, maybe
And he's
not.
gone.
Okay. Where does the creature
he's
go
back.
when he's back? There we go. Where does the creature go when they do this? When they compact the trash?
Maybe
Like, how
it's
does
just
the
one of
creature
those
avoid being crushed?
Is it like an octopus where it could like
Yeah,
Maybe.
into
That's true.
tight spaces and shit?
might be.
Fucking hate that stormtrooper.
What of all the things to cut, that one is very strange. That one stormtrooper that smacks his fucking head.
I'm hoping if I stand still enough, my internet will leave me alone.
Maybe if you turn off your camera, that'll take off some of the stress of it. I know that's
Just
worked
Ben's
for me in the
voice
past.
coming from either.
It's worked for me in the past. As much as we want to see your lovely face, it might just make life easier for you.
Don't blame me, guys.
Hey, none of that shit.
This is a place of positivity.
Yes. I mean, negativity towards ourselves in Star Wars, but positivity in body image and just general
negativity
positivity.
towards myself.
No.
No.
So,
The only negativity towards yourself allowed on this podcast is watching these movies every week.
yes. So, in terms of like comedy, like actual comedy in a Star Wars movie, C-3PO having a panic attack here is very good.
I don't like the fact that it's very good, though.
Why?
I don't want the funny part, a character I empathize with having a straight panic attack.
You make a good point, but that's literally everything C-3PO has done in his entire life. That's why we love him.
I know, it's literally everything I've done in my entire life, too.
Can you imagine? We've mentioned before that George wanted C-3PO to have like a used car salesman voice. Can you imagine these scenes if that is the sound coming out of C-3PO?
Oh, God.
Because they would be bad scenes. Listen, I don't know. R2 sounds like they're dead. I guess we weren't fast enough. They're dying,
This
R2.
scene is really good.
Yo, there's literally no way this isn't where the shit goes.
What do you mean there's no way?
Look at the slime on those fucking walls.
I mean, they're also probably throwing away, like, portions of rations.
Yeah, but
Like, food waste also goes in the garbage.
there's a specific look.
What if Obi-Wan just like tripped on his stupid robes and fell down the
He would
shaft?
be the happiest person on the planet.
I know everyone makes this point, but, like, what really is the Empire's vendetta against handrails?
Well, it's less people for them to pay if they fall.
Look, when you control
Casual
and are able to
misogyny.
just when you're able to just shut down the Senate, you can get around some OSHA violations.
I don't think OSHA exists anymore.
I think they blew up OSHA shortly before blowing up Alderaan.
This is a Kevin Smith bit. Are we doing this again? Are we doing the Kevin Smith conversation again?
Just doing Clerks.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
It's such a sick Leia burn.
Yeah.
The only person I take orders from is me. It's amazing you're still alive. It's fantastic.
And then there's a real racist comment in there.
All of it on the back of some, frankly, a little too casual misogyny.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question. How does Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Master, been living in the desert for years, know how to shut this tractor beam off?
I mean,
You make
to
a
be
great
fair,
point.
They're based on Venators, which he spent a lot of time on.
Hey, you want to know what would be good in this scene?
If Obi-Wan walked away while the stormtroopers were looking the opposite way,
Nah, force speed.
nah, it'd be too loud.
Or, I don't know,
Did
a
you see that scene
lightsaber?
in Phantom Menace? That shit is quiet.
Obi-Wan back in the day used to just be fucking dudes up left and right with the lightsaber. You can't tell me he can't just pull the lightsaber out and take care of those two stormtroopers. Dump
I
them down the
guess.
shaft real quick.
Oh,
I still
I
love
hate this
scene.
scene
It's
too.
so stupid.
I don't like this scene anymore.
I love Chewie just gently jogging after him, like, what the hell are you doing, Han?
I like this scene better in the original cut where he runs into that room and there's like 4 stormtroopers and
Yes.
he's like, well, fuck. I
It's
can't
like the
deal with
same-
4 stormtroopers.
It's literally the same troopers they just decided to turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it made it so much better, because it really was oh yeah, why are we running away from this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's like
Wait a
5
minute,
of us,
we have the
and one of
guns.
them-
That door is also very bad.
I mean, granted.
Welcome
in
to Star Wars
Episode
Every Week Forever, where now we're ruining doors for you.
That's adorable.
I hate you
Jesus
so much.
fucking Christ. I hate that I can't even see your face to be mad at you physically
Yeah.
right now.
Where do I put this anger? That one empty chair and together? No, Ben, take it off. I don't want to lose you again. We're trying to keep you around, buddy.
Why did I just get so small?
And he's frozen already. So this scene is another one that didn't... Listen,
Leia's
George.
face.
George, why can't you just be honest and say you didn't know what you were doing with Leia? Why do you gotta pretend like you knew?
Yeah.
Christ.
Gross.
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 And
I
it's
love the
also...
stormtroopers just on their bellies shooting at it.
It's also the worst when we know for a fact there's a trailer out there for A New Hope post-release that describes this as a love story between Luke and Leia. It's like, oh, gross. Fucking gross. The dramatic cuts here are
He's
so
from-
good.
C-3PO.
I love the little
like,
tap 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 noises from the stormtroopers' boots.
Yeah.
C-3PO straight up for a second. He's like, R2, where could they be? Like,
I think you're on a totally different scene than us, bud.
no, that was a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Because we're at Obi-Wan and Vader right now.
No, I know. I was trying to say it before,
Okay.
but you guys were talking.
You're also cutting out a little bit here and there.
I can't do anything about it.
It's not your fault.
I know. I'm frustrated.
Only a master of evil doth.
I just want to be here for the twirl. That's all I want. The little
Obi-Wan.
spin,
Oh, there
and
it
I'll be
is.
happy.
There's the
Obi-Wan, no,
twirl.
that's not how my Sith name works. I don't care, Darth.
Okay, no.
I
Also
left
like
you to
how
die
there's,
in a
like-
lava pit. You think I care about naming you correctly?
Wait, I just noticed this. So Darth Vader's lightsaber cuts into the wall at the one point.
Oh, yeah.
The wall's fucked up before they do that. Like, it's fucked up for this whole scene. It just sparks when he hits it.
Listen, last week Vader just probably fought another one of the like 87 Jedi who are still alive at this point in the current canon.
Cal, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Star Killer. One of the many
don't-
Star Killers.
Starkiller is completely non-canon again, right?
I think so. It'd be really
Correct, he's
weird
not
if
canon.
It'd be really weird if the First Order was like, let's name a super weapon after that one guy that Vader was Vader's apprentice until he wasn't anymore.
What kept us? You, like, tried to chase down 5 stormtroopers. What are you talking about, dude? This is the closest to a full family reunion Vader, Luke, and Leia get.
I mean, to be fair, I've had many family reunions where I'm supposed to be talking to somebody, but we're about 60 feet away from each other. That's what happens when you have one side of the family that is a very extended family, and then the other side has 9 siblings. It's a lot of,
Little
I'm not
smirk, little
sure.
smirk. He knows.
It's time. Not even a lightsaber, going through a lightsaber could stop me from it. Oh, embrace the sweet embrace of death. His body comes out of him as a Force ghost. Ah, shit.
He becomes a Force ghost, and they can't see him, but he's just there. And Qui-Gon's like leaned against a wall, laughing already. He's like, "You dumb son of a bitch!
You thought this would be different. It's not.
You're just this now."
It's actually worse than life because you exist in all places at all times forever. You're omniscient again, Obi-Wan. We've brought you back to your omniscience. Except this time you can't trade snipes with Grievous.
The whole 2 seconds where Luke's allowed to be sad.
2
And
more
Han
seconds that
rolls
he was
up
sad
like-
about his parents.
And Han rolls up like, hey, do you want to shoot stuff? And Luke's like, okay, sure. And he's all better.
I mean, to be fair, a repressed redneck from a really toxic family getting his emotions out through firing weapons. I know people like that from living in very small town.
Although Han does speak to him very gently, which is nice. Come on, buddy, we're not done.
Come on, buddy. I need your help firing a giant machine gun in your time of need. I feel like we haven't mentioned this before, but the Millennium Falcon in Force Awakens does look very different than the Millennium Falcon in these original movies. And literally all it is the coloring.
Yeah. You're 1,000% right.
The Millennium Falcon in the sequels is very tan. The inside looks like a smoker's been living in there for a decade, and all the grime has gotten into the paneling. I love the casual just twirl of the Falcon while the TIE fighters come in, like, oh, we're veering to the left, folks.
I also love that R2-D2 is a fire extinguisher.
R2-D2 is the droid equivalent of a Swiss Army knife.
I mean, yeah. God, they are so happy. They are way too happy to be in, like, a legit life or death scenario. Like, yeah, did you see me kill that guy?
In the interest of Han Solo is the anti-Obi-Wan, where he's constantly in dangerous situations and there's nothing he would like more than to somehow survive no matter what the means necessary are. If stormtroopers stormed this Falcon right now and said, you get to live if we take off with all of your friends and we're going to hold them up and we're going to fucking hold them up against a wall and kill them, Han Solo would just be like, that's fine. That's fine with me. Specifically Harrison Ford.
I love that 3PO's like, R2, this is all your fault. Well, he's just tangled in wires. Like, how is this R2's fault, 3PO? Please tell me.
R2-D2 did nothing wrong except for the times where he did things wrong. I was about to say, Chewie, you need a bath because like the back of him is like all matted. And then I remembered in KOTOR, there's a scene when you get onto the Ebon Hawk at one point where they're like, oh, I forget the name of the Wookiee in KOTOR. Fuck. He's great. But like Mission Veo is talking to her Wookiee friend and she's like, you need a bath. And he's just like, Wookiees do not take baths. It's like, well, can you at least comb your hair? Wookiees do not comb their hair.
I have the weirdest feeling of vindication right now.
Why?
Because I know a KOTOR character, Jay doesn't.
I mean, I'm going to think of it in like seconds. Zalbar.
I saw you Google it.
I actually didn't Google it. I thought of it before I got to Google.
If Jay could have Googled it that fast, that would have been impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know Zalbar by the name in it because you didn't know Candrus Ordo by the name, Candrus Ordo.
Ben, have you played enough of Knights of the Old Republic to get to Zalbar?
Yeah.
No, Zalbar's pretty early on. Did you play enough Knights of the Old Republic to get to the best Star Wars character ever made? Jolie Bindo, who was the best Star Wars character that's ever existed.
No, I think that's Seth.
Jolie Bindo. Can I go on a Jolie Bindo rant right now?
Sure.
Sure. Jolie
Bindo is everything we've said about Obi-Wan Kenobi, except real. This motherfucker, he's like Qui-Gon, everything we said about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan rolled up into one. Jolie Bindo is just a dude that's been hanging out in the Shadowlands for 20 fucking years because he got mildly annoyed with the Jedi Order because they found out he had a wife that was a Sith. And he's just like, everything kind of sucks. I went to Kashyyyk to die, and I'm just frustratingly here still. And you, player character, are gonna let me condescend to you because I'm old and I earned it. God damn it, he's the best. Jolie Bindo is the fucking best. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Hello? Like, yeah. I'm not even exaggerating. Jolie Bindo at times will say to your player character, "Motherfucker, you will let me condescend to you.
Darth Vader
I have
still
earned the
standing
right."
there at the chair. Darth Vader's still standing there with his hands on the fucking chair.
He's been there for days. It's just two stormtroopers in the corner. He's been there for days. We don't know how to get him to get.
Larry, you want to see if we could get Darth to eat something? Tarkin says we got to get him to eat, but I don't know if he'll listen.
I don't know. It just looks like he's been vindicated by killing somebody that left him to die in a magma. I feel like this is a weird way of Vader to celebrate.
Jay, you'll be happy to know that Jolie Bindo lives on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, apparently.
I'm not surprised by that. Star Wars Galaxies is fucking weird. Or it was.
No, Chris is talking about something else.
Galaxy of Heroes.
It's
the mobile game. It's actually pretty good.
Really? It always seemed like one of those microtransaction filled.
It is. Just like all the Marvel games they make, but you can progress pretty well without it. It's like a fun team arena turn-based RPG basically.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not
Not
to
sponsored.
interrupt shilling for a mobile game, but can you
There's the line.
how must, with the broader context of what technology looks like generally in Star Wars, what must some of those newer recruits sitting in that room think when they are presented with a 1975 Betamax presentation of how to take down the most advanced thing ever created by humanity, ever created by Star Wars species of any kind? Like, one of them just like leaning towards the other. It's just like, I feel like, we can't even get a holo projector going? And then one guy in the back of the room is just like, I took Womp Rats out of my T16 back home. It's just like, where the fuck are we right now? I think we've made a mistake. Maybe we should have gone to the Imperial Academy.
It's like getting a like military briefing about how you're gonna like fight this fully organized militarized army with like one of those projectors at school where you have to have the transparent plastic sheets because they couldn't
Just pull
afford
the thing
anything
down.
else. Yeah.
Listen, that droid over there can make a fully formed person's message, and you can communicate over long distances using that. What the fuck? This doesn't even have anything but black and white.
and
It's
we
the
can't
galactic
even afford-
equivalent of Pong.
And we can't even afford anything better than fucking MS-DOS over here.
What the fuck? Are we using floppy disks out here? Is that where we're at? We're gonna die fighting a star destroyer. We're gonna die fighting.
Floppy disks weren't in the budget.
I mean, granted. See, this is one of those things like Star Trek has like the luck of having that Star Wars doesn't. Like Star Trek can like create like these terrible looking futuristic fucking world in 1965, but because you don't go back to that, you don't have to realize how outdated that looks because you can just say, oh, it's space shit. Unfortunately, Star Wars had to write around all that, and it just makes it fucking ridiculous.
I mean, also, you don't really notice it if you don't watch it once a week. Except
Hey,
that
y'all
might stop me.
Y'all remember Biggs? Biggs Darklighter? Biggs Darklighter might be top 10 worst character names in Star Wars, and that's
It's-
saying something.
Like, A New Hope specifically has some naming conventions that are, even like compared to the rest of this trilogy, are just like, you can tell they're from this movie specifically.
1 syllable, 2 syllable. Those 2 syllables must be some form of energy
Yeah.
or a motion. Luke Skywalker, Biggs Darklighter. I mean, yeah, it's wild. It's weird. This is also like a really good sequence where they're just slowly rising to, and you would never see this in a Star Wars movie, show, anything else like it. That's one of the things I've grown to appreciate about A New Hope when we get to it, other than its very short length, which is obviously the biggest factor at this point.
The big draw.
The big draw is that it's 2 hours and 4 minutes long, credits included, but A New Hope has so many things that nowhere Star Wars will do again. Like, nobody's going to do that shit again. Like, this is a sci-fi scene of just, like... It's also a war story scene of just, like, a slow crawl into... It's very, like, 50s war movies, which, granted,
It's
not good, but...
Oh, there he is.
Oh, we get to watch Ben cry. Oh, we don't get to watch Ben cry, I guess. We get to hear Ben cry.
Oh, man. I see the drawback of keeping Ben's internet connected now. No. Up to you, buddy.
It's what the people have asked for.
If I had stayed back at the house just a couple more days, I would be sitting right next to you, watching
And
you
I would
cry.
get
And
smacked upside the head.
no, I would never actually like physically touch you in such a way, but I'd make fun of you a lot.
Also,
This
I
is
like
also-
how the last words face to face between Luke and Biggs are Biggs saying, "We'll make it out of this, all right."
By we, I mean you, because I'm checked out, buddy.
I'm going with Obi-Wan. I'm out of here.
You said something about being one with the Force. I'm about to be there soon. All that Biggs, the only thing that Biggs didn't say is just like, man, we're going to get out of there. I'm 5 days from retirement. I got a wife and a baby at home. We're all going to make it out. And then the movie couldn't more clearly express that he's going to fucking die. What's wrong, Ben?
Oh, nothing.
He's preparing to be in mourning.
I'm emotionally preparing.
Hold on. I got to do something.
Pour one out for Porkins.
Pour one out for Porkins.
Ben looking genuinely choked up.
Oh.
He is actually choked up.
God.
Like, I know when he's doing a bit and he's not doing a bit. This is not a bit. I'm sorry, Ben. Ben is leaned over. It's becoming a bit now. This is now an actual bit. Ben is gone. This is Biggs, right?
Ooh. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Darth Vader. Okay, I need to. Darth Vader walks around with his fucking lightsaber buckled to his belt, but the emitter is facing up.
I mean, that's just another character that wants death very badly.
So at any moment, Darth Vader can just accidentally cut
No,
his own
no.
fucking arm off.
Lord Vader, you see, I need you to wear this lightsaber in a specific way. Why? Well, you see, you never know when you're going to need tune-ups, right? And, you know, maybe we need to force tune-ups sometimes.
Nah, that's 100% Darth Vader's own choice. That's the masochist in there, just like, I don't deserve robot arms.
Papa Palps has greatly exceeded the amount of downtime Darth episodes we have pitched, and the only reason for that is because the Palpatine voice is so much more fun to
I was
do.
gonna say, it's just because we love doing the Palpatine voice. That's the only reason.
These Y-Wings were fucked from the start.
Yeah.
They are not built for this job that they have been asked to do.
They've stopped.
What, Ben?
They've stopped.
Is that...
I like how Darth Vader's just like, can I blow them up, guys? Can I blow them up, guys?
It's got that big, like, medieval kingdom, the son of like a famous war hero is here. It's like, yeah, let him do his thing, otherwise we're gonna receive a fucking complaint from his goddamn rich goddamn fucking uncle or father or whatever.
I'll take them myself. Yeah, because I was totally gonna kill them and have you, like, choke me out later, dude. Like,
That's too much information on this man's night. This is also the scene that we have alluded to being great, that we have not gone into
it's
great
all
detail.
down to the farm boy.
It's all down to the farm boy. If we don't see like a lot of the scenes happening in there, like whoever's in charge of the fucking operation is just flipping shit. Like, oh, the farm boy. Where the fuck did this guy come from, Leia?
Oh, that's right. It's some random person that showed up and saved Your Highness from this super laser that we just found out existed 10 minutes
It's
ago.
all right. It's all right, Leia. If you trust him, I trust him. You've turned off your targeting. What the fuck do you mean he turned off his targeting computer?
All right, I'm gonna go pack my bags and hopefully I'll be away from the planet enough to not get killed.
There's just multiple people like running out of there in the same way like in Force Awakens when Starkiller Base is very clearly gonna blow up, you just see fucking Moffs running out of the fucking bridge. Same thing's happening here. It's just people fleeing because they were told a 19-year-old who's turned off his targeting computer is their only fucking hope. Yeah, it sure is a new hope, Leia. Meaning new as in wet behind the ears, barely born. I have fucking cysts on my ass older than Luke Skywalker.
Jesus Christ. God, I hate that when the lighting's in just the right spot. You can see the eyes in Darth Vader's helmet.
I know, it's great.
And it's like you can't see it at all in this movie until the TIE Fighter section.
I like that Luke, the Biggs dies. Luke's just like, oh, that's sad. But the like X-Wing leader is just like horrifyingly breaks him.
Just like Beggar's Canyon.
Beggar's
Just
Canyon.
like
Did he
Beggar's.
just say Beggar's? I'm sorry. What the fuck's a Beggar's Canyon, and how is it the same thing? Leia, look at me. You fucking look at me. What the fuck is a Beggar's Canyon, and
I'm
how
actually
is
really
it like
mad
the
that I know
trench
all
of the
about.
most advanced fucking planet destroyer that has ever existed, Leia?
I know all about Beggar's Canyon because of that fucking Republic Pilot game or whatever for the GameCube.
I didn't ever play it.
Real quick. Like, everyone's going on about how, like, awkwardly unhinged it was in The Last Jedi when we find out that, like, Luke turned on his lightsaber, like, looking over his nephew. Like, no, motherfucker's unhinged because in the span of 24 hours, every human being he was ever attached to died. Like,
Yeah.
Literally every person Luke knew in that 24-hour period ended up dead.
Wait, no, that's not the canon of what happens in Last Jedi. Oh, you mean in this movie? Yeah. Do you think there's like TIE fighter operator?
It would have been really funny if, as Vader's lowering down, he's just like, just like Beggar's Canyon.
This is why we need more Darth Vader audio. And listen, give George back the franchise. Have him do more edits where Vader just reflects way too much in the middle of these movies. Well, guys, I think this is pod racing.
Oh, this is the best. This is the best.
Turn off your targeting computer.
Also, I like how Vader's just like the Force is strong with him. Like, does that have anything to do with the present moment, Darth? Just waiting for the one guy to be like, he did what?
I do appreciate that the galactic standard of communication via headphone was the Xbox 360 controller during A New Hope.
The original Xbox 360 headset.
The worst headset ever devised by mankind.
It was literally made out of duct tape and bubble gum.
Why? Okay. Why do the Death Star operators need the most involved helmets that anyone has ever worn in their entire lives? Why do they get those helmets?
It's the one OSHA regulation they follow to protect their eyes.
Listen, we are allowed to have no guardrails anywhere, but if the people just sitting in a room pressing buttons to destroy and billions of people don't have a giant fucking 6-foot visor over their head, we're fucked.
Also, I didn't bring it up before, but I love that the Imperials discover that there's a chance for them to get blown up like 2 minutes before it actually happens. And Tarkin,
You want to know what I love?
Who cares?
Listen,
You want to know what I
Tarkin's a
love?
cold motherfucker.
Yeah, Tarkin just accepted death. You want to know what I love about that scene? How that scene ends and there's like 3 minutes left in the movie. Like, it's such a relief.
It's
Every time
like,
we get to a new...
It's almost
We're
like
the
we did the thing. We've got like 3 minutes of like, yay, we did the thing, and then the movie's over. Almost like, you know, how movies are supposed to be.
It's like a wrestling match on live television. It's just like, you're over your time. Go home, go home, go home. Just like, this movie is like, we're over time. Get us out of here as fast as possible. I'm like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, this movie really does feel like a 10:59 roll-up pin, doesn't it?
Oh, God, it makes me so happy. Because so many of the other movies, you hit the climax, and things come down for like 15 goddamn minutes. Like, I don't care anymore. We're done. Let's get me out of here.
They pull R2 out of the fucking droid unit thing. They pull him down. Everyone's like, "Oh no, R2, are you okay?" And C-3PO has a legit like panic attack. Like,
Yeah.
I will donate organs to this motherfucker. And then everyone walks away smiling, laughing, like, "No,
Yeah.
no,
Let it,
you're not gonna
when-
do my boy like that. You gotta give me some closure here before we go to the medal ceremony."
When Obi-Wan passes, all of his droid racism just exudes, leaves his body, and then enters Luke's.
I like that for this official ceremony, Han, is wearing a full shirt and his chest hair is not hanging out.
Meanwhile,
He
Luke
just
is
buttons the
wearing
top
less
button.
than usual.
Luke's wearing a V-neck and a sick leather jacket,
I like that leather jacket, though.
I do, but like, where the fuck did it come from?
I don't know. Listen, Luke's not even living out of a fucking suitcase at this point. He had to have people donate clothes to him. He left home so fast.
He 100% just like snagged that from somewhere, and
That's Han Solo's
person-
clothes.
Nah, he snagged it from someone, and like the random trooper who's like it was actually he's afraid to say something because he just destroyed the fucking super weapon. He can't be like,
Nah.
Excuse me, Mr. Luke, that's my jacket.
Nah, man, that's Han Solo's clothes. I'm convinced of it because it looks like something Han would wear.
I mean, Han has like one shirt, one vest, and one pair of pants that he washes like
No, he's got like...
half a month.
Because look at that outfit next to Han's. It's basically the same fit, just like different colors.
Hey, guys, I got good news. Done with the movie.
Ben, how was your watch?
It was frustrating.
I'm sorry.
All right. I don't know why. Like once a week, once every 2 weeks, my internet's just like, "Hey, you want to not have fun?" And I'm like, "Can we not do this when I'm recording things?"
Yeah, once a rotation it's turning into, but that's not your fault. Same thing happens on my end.
But
Chris,
good
how was your watch? What was that, Ben?
Oh, I was gonna say, but good, like, actual watch.
Yeah.
It was a very good watch, as the last 3 have been. This
Yeah.
this method is a harder time constraint and time sink, I think, but it's definitely the far more enjoyable version of this podcast.
For
Yeah,
sure.
the problem with doing this isn't like the watches or sitting down to record. Those are great. Scheduling is very difficult.
It is a nightmare.
And by this point, we're 3 episodes in. Audience, you let us know how you're
4
enjoying
episodes in.
these so far. Well, yeah, this would be the 4th episode. Yeah, just let us know how you're enjoying this.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're any more or less coherent than usual.
probably not.
Probably not. Shay, how was your watch?
Fantastic.
2
Other
thumbs
than
up from me. Wow.
other than when we were losing Ben, unfortunately, everything was fantastic and short movie too.
The shortest one, I believe.
Oh, by a country mile. All the other ones are over 2 minutes or 2 hours 10 minutes.
Didn't make it longer premiere.
Empire's 2 hours 7.
That being
Nerd.
said, nerd. That being said, this is Star Wars. This has been Star Wars Every Week Forever. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with us for 2.5 hours every week.
God bless you.
God bless you. We do it for you. Good night.
I do it for me.
No, you don't.
If you enjoyed that episode, why not like and subscribe? Also, share it with a couple friends. Bring them into this hellscape that we've done to ourselves. You can catch brand new episodes every single Wednesday on Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, pretty much every other platform you get your podcasts on. If you'd like to extend the suffering, you can catch us over on twitter.com at SWEWF. We post direct links to brand new episodes every week as soon as we upload them, and you can catch the occasional other dumb Star Wars take, and who wouldn't want that? Catch you guys later.